Hey, what's going on everyone? This is Nick. Today I'm going to be telling you all about how to figure out any chords of any scale. If you're curious about what I just played, basically all I played were the chords that were natural to the major scale. So I want to start from the very beginning for those of you who don't know. A major scale is basically a collection of 7 notes, and it's a combination of whole steps and half steps. For example, C major scale is just a major scale without any accidentals. We have C, D, E, F, G, A, B, C. Now in the musical alphabet we have 12 distinct notes, so essentially with a major scale we're shaving 5 notes off. So in the musical alphabet we have A sharp or B flat, B, and then we skip to C, C sharp or D flat, D, D sharp or E flat, E, F, F sharp or G flat, G, G sharp or A flat. Those are our 12. Now that's kind of a lot to remember, but basically all you need to know is that a sharp raises a note up a half step. So for example, if we want to play G on the guitar, that's the 3rd fret of the low E string. If we wanted to make it a G sharp, we'd go up 1 fret to the 4th fret and make it a G sharp. So a sharp makes it go higher in pitch and it goes this way down the fretboard. If we wanted to play a flat, for example, we can take E, which can be played on the 7th fret of the A string, and we go down to E flat, which is on the 6th fret of the A string. So we're going this way on the fretboard and down in pitch. So the thing to remember to know all the notes in the music alphabet, all you gotta remember is E and F and B and C. Those are the 2 pairs of notes that don't have any accidentals in between them. So there's no E sharp or F flat, but if you do see an E sharp or F flat, E sharp is really the same thing as an F. That's called an N harmonic equivalent. If you see a C flat, it's the same thing as a B natural. And then you have something like, for example, F sharp and G flat, where we raise F or lower G, which are notes right next to each other. Those are also N harmonic equivalents because they're really the same note. It just depends on the context in which we're using them. So in music, there's 2 main ways to describe activity between notes. We have a half step, which is, for example, from E to F, or from F to F sharp, or from F sharp to G. It's the notes adjacent to each other. Those are 1 step away. And on the guitar, that's a half step. It's only 1 fret away. And then we have a whole step, which is 2 half steps, or 2 frets away. So the first thing I would recommend you doing is learning the notes on the fretboard on the low E and the low A strings, and the natural notes. If you play bar chords, you probably already know these because those are the roots of the bar chords. So basically the main exercise I give to all my students is to identify the notes on the low E and the low A string, but only the natural notes. So no F sharps, no G sharps, no A flats, etc. So if we go through the E string, we have E, then F on the 1st fret, G on the 3rd fret, A on the 5th fret, then we have B on the 7th fret, C on the 8th fret, D on the 10th fret, and E on the 12th fret. Now one way I recommend practicing this is literally playing it that way, but also naming the notes as you're playing them and use specific fingering so you start to develop a muscle memory of where the natural notes are. So I'm going to show you how you should be able to do it. E, F, G, A, B, C, D, E, E, F, G, A, B, C, D, E, E, F, G, A, B, C, D, E. Now the fingering I'm using for this is index, ring, pinky, middle, pinky. Now this is a really arbitrary thing and I just kind of decided it. It doesn't really matter what fingers you choose as long as you stick to something and you're consistent with it. Now for the A string we have A, B on the 2nd fret, C on the 3rd fret, D on the 5th fret, E on the 7th fret, F on the 8th fret, G on the 10th fret, and then A on the 12th fret. Now the fingering I'm using for this is kind of a symmetrical one. I'm using index, middle, pinky, index, middle, pinky, and then slide with my pinky. So E, F, G, A, B, C, D, E, A, B, C, D, E, F, G, A. Now if you understand the modes of the major scale, you understand that the natural notes in the E string will actually give you a Phrygian mode, and the notes in the A string will give you an Aeolian mode, or it's a natural minor scale. Okay, so now we got that out of the way. So in a major scale, from C to C, we have whole step, half step, whole step, whole step, whole step, half step. So for example, if we take a major scale, let's take C. So if we take that pattern and apply it, from C to D is a whole step, from D to E is a whole step, and then E to F is a half step, F to G is a whole step, G to A is a whole step, A to B is a whole step, and then B to C is a half step. So that makes up the infrastructure of the major scale. Okay, so now that we got that out of the way, what's an interval? Now an interval is basically a combination of whole steps and half steps, but it's between a larger distance. So usually we identify intervals in major, minor, or perfect terms. So for example, from C to B is a major seventh. Now part of learning intervals, for me, consisted of figuring out these shapes and how they look like on the guitar. So for example, a perfect fifth is actually just a power chord. So if I play a G power chord, the notes I'm playing are G and D, that's a perfect fifth. If I move it over here, I have a B flat and an F. I have an F and a C here on the first fret. So if we look at the intervals that are found naturally in the major scale, we get these intervals. C to D is a major second, or a natural second, or a natural 9. It could also be played like this. C to E is a major third, or a natural third. C to F is a perfect fourth. C to G is a perfect fifth. C to A is a major sixth, or it can be played like this. C to B is a major seventh. Now what does that mean? It means that all the notes in between are going to be the minor intervals, or the flat intervals. So for example, if we take C to E and we flatten that, we now have a minor third, C to E flat. Another way to think of this is a minor third is a whole step and a half step. That being said, a major third is now 2 whole steps. Another thing we can do is take the fourth and raise it, or we can take the fifth and lower it. This creates a tritone, a sharp 4, or a flat 5. Then we have our perfect fifth. We have a sharp 5, which we don't see in major scales, but we do see in some other scales, and so on. So triads, or 3-note chords, which are basically the building blocks of music, are built with a root, some kind of third, and some kind of fifth. So we have 4 main types of triads. We have major, minor, augmented, and diminished. So a major triad is the root, the major third, and the perfect fifth. The minor triad is a root, the flat third, and a perfect fifth. Augmented triad is a root, a major third, and a sharp fifth. And a diminished triad is a root, a flat third, and a flat fifth. So if I would play all those in order, we have major, minor, diminished, augmented. Play it a little slowly. Major, minor, diminished, augmented. There's a bunch of other cool triads like sus triads, but for today we're only going to be using the main triads, which are more commonly used in music. The other kind of triads I think of more as complementary colors. In other words, the main triads are kind of like your red, blue, yellow, and the other triads are like purple, green, orange, etc. Another way to look at it, so we know that C, E, G is our major triad. Another way to look at it is between C and E there's a major third, and E and G is a minor third. To find out a minor triad like this, if we have C, E flat, and G, which is a minor triad. So we have C to E flat, which is a minor third, and E flat to G, which is a major third. So now the other 2 triads are what I call symmetrical triads, because a diminished triad has a minor third and another minor third. So we have C to E flat, and we have E flat to G, which are both minor thirds. For an augmented triad, we actually have 2 major thirds. We have C to E and E to G sharp. So now that we know this and we know how to figure out if a chord is major or minor, and we know the structures within it, the major scale naturally has occurring chords in it. If we look at the major scale in thirds, the first one is C, E, and G. So if we played C, E, and G, we have C to E, which is a major third, E to G, which is a minor third, or C to G, which is a perfect fifth. So the one chord in the major scale is always major. Then the next one, which is a D minor chord, we have a minor third and a major third, or a perfect fifth. We have D, F, and A. So we have a minor triad. So the 2 chord is always minor. Then we have E, G, and B. So between E and G we have a minor third, and between G and B we have a major third. So we have a minor triad. So the 3 chord is always a minor triad. Then we have F, A, and C. So between F and A we have a major third, and between A and C we have a minor third, or a perfect fifth between F. So we have another major triad for the 4 chord. Then we have G, B, and D. Between G and B is a major third, and between B and D is a minor third. So that's our 5 chord, which is going to be major again. Then we have A, C, and E. So between A and C we have a minor third, and between C and E we have a major third, or between A and C we have a perfect fifth. That's a minor triad. Then the last one's the spicy one. Between B and D we have a minor third, and between D and F we have a minor third. That one's a diminished triad. And then our last one we get back to C major. So in total we have major, minor, minor, major, major, minor, diminished. Sounds like this. Which is exactly the same thing I played at the beginning of this video. So this can be applied to any scale. If we want to do harmonic minor, let's take A harmonic minor. We have A minor, we have B diminished, C augmented, then we have D minor, then we have E major, but could also be E augmented. And we have F major, then we have G sharp diminished, and A minor. And so that's how you extract the chords of the major scale. If you have any questions, please leave them in the comments. So if you've enjoyed this video, please like, subscribe, turn on notifications if you want to see more videos like this. If not, I'm releasing new videos every Monday and Thursday at 3 p.m. I'm releasing educational content, I'm releasing gear demos, some covers, some jazz standards, etc. Thank you so much if you made it this far, and I hope to see you again.